and welcome to Big Mac Diaries, Chapter 4, Armenia, the good, the bad and the ugly. And you can just see as the sun sets over Yerevan, Mount Arafat over there, or whatever it's called. And that mountain, you know, that was a mountain where Noah's Ark landed. That was the first bit of land, yeah. So I know the dove went and got like a little olive branch or something, but no, that is where Noah's Ark landed. And Noah, who probably was, to be honest with you, the first dreamies guy. He was the first dreamies guy. He made all those dreamies come true for all the animals in the whole world. Well, two of them anyway. Well, the pairs of them, you know. And whilst he was bobbing along with his little ark, he then had to rest it on there. It came all the way down. You know, so this is almost, so Armenia is kind of like the birthplace of mankind, really. It's also the place which has the spear which jabbed Jesus to see if he was still alive. And obviously the blood came down into that Roman soldier's face, and he had cataracts or something on his banana, and it went, and then he decided to take the spear, which was in Israel, Jerusalem, all the way here to Armenia. I'm not too sure if it was blood or whether or not he'd been drinking a bit that day. I don't know. Anyway, so here we are in Armenia. Rich in history, obviously lots of theology, culturally quite an incredible country, really, and I have enjoyed my time here, I must admit. But it didn't start off well. It didn't start. Good, the bad and the ugly is a good title. It was very ugly, you know. Obviously, the original plan was to come to Armenia to see this FC Noah game, and they completely changed it, changed the date and everything like that. Even changed the city, actually. Not even playing in Yerevan anymore. They're miles away over there. So I didn't get to see a game, and also tried to get an FC Noah top, which is impossible because this top doesn't even exist. It's a bit like getting, like, I don't know, like a Northfields Legends five-a-side top, yeah, or FC Zebra top, which was the football team which I played for at university, the old Frobe Zebras. To be a zebra. Yeah, that's right. I was a goal scorer. I was a striker for that team, actually, and up front. And I scored one goal in 3 years. But so that's why I don't flip and slag off all these QPR strikers on the message board. I know how hard it is under pressure to put the ball in the back of the net, and to sort of use a football analogy. I scored a couple of own goals on this trip recently, getting here to Armenia. In fact, I probably got a red card and a suspension from travelling, actually, for a while. It was that bad. I mean, it all started. I mean, the idea of trying to get from Azerbaijan through to Georgia, through to Armenia in one day was a bit crazy. And now I know how wicked and how wonderful Georgia is. Definitely should have stayed an extra night in Georgia and then come down on the bus. I'll explain it all as we go along now, right? So it was difficult to get into Azerbaijan through customs. It was even more difficult to get out. I mean, all these questions, where you been, what you been up to, where were you, etc., etc. They then kind of like held my passport, and they got another guy in who spoke better English than the guy who was sort of quizzing me. You know, it was just like random questions. It's like going on the worst date ever with the worst sort of like questions, you know, like those impossible questions. So, who would you rather date, a serial killer or someone who eats cats in pies? That sort of stupid questions. Once I got through then, I got onto Azerbaijan Airlines, arrived in Tbilisi, Georgia Airport, where the aircon wasn't working. So it was boiling hot, humid. Got through to the customs passport control at Georgia, and they said, "Oh no, you're flying with Fly One Airlines. They want a paper ticket only, right?" I said, "Well, what?" I had to go all the way back downstairs. When I went online and I saw that Fly One has a Trustpilot rating of 0.7. or something. It is. They should be called fly scum. They're that bad. Absolutely flipping awful. You know. Let's have a little walk around here, and yeah. So I then managed to. People in front of me were getting scammed like €70 to get their online their ticket on their phone, which they checked in on, converted into like a paper ticket, right? Oh God, I can't be dealing with this. But for some reason they didn't charge me 70 quid. They did charge other people, but anyway. Then got on to Fly Scum Airlines, which is basically like, when I was a little boy, I had this sort of like toy aeroplane, like a little white toy plastic aeroplane with these little wooden figures used to put in it. Right? That's basically what Fly One was. I thought they were going to reverse backwards into a massive elastic band to like take off. The airplane was so shit, and it was even shitter inside because guess what? No aircon there either. So I had hours of just sweating and feeling absolutely like shit on this in the airport and in the airplane. And when I eventually arrived in Yerevan, I got questioned even more about what I was doing. You know, what are you doing? What were you doing in Azerbaijan? Blah blah blah. What are you doing here? You know, this went on. So 9 hours, probably just another 3 hours. So probably about 12 hours of flying madness. And I got to the airport, and this huge, massive hulk of a figure, like an orc sort of guy, sort of thing you would sort of see on, I don't know, Lord of the Rings or something. Yeah, you want taxi? You want taxi? You want taxi? Taxi? You want? I was so tired. I was like, yeah, mate, whatever. But whilst I was in Georgia Airport, I messaged the hotel apartments to sort of see how much the taxi was going to be. They said about 2,000, 5,000, And this was the only taxi I hadn't booked. Every single airport I come into, I had that taxi driver waiting for me, right? Because they got some weird taxi system here in Yerevan, Anyway, got in. This Hulk guy then passed me on to another guy. He was like flipping Gollum, and he put me into a car. He sounded alright in the beginning. He was talking about his family and things to do here and things like that, and give me tips. And then the conversation changed a little bit. You want girls? You want smoke? You want this? No, mate, I don't want that. Take me to the hotel, and I clocked the meter. It was going up so fast. It was like a stopwatch, whatever, rather than a meter. So I knew straight away, shit, I'm being scammed here. But all my stuff was in the back and everything, so I was kind of stuck. And then, of course, he gets to the hotel and he charges me some ridiculous amount of money. And for some reason, I don't know, I paid it. I just didn't even think. A split second of just not thinking. And then, of course, afterwards, I was just like, oh, what have you done, you absolute flipping mug? It's a schoolboy error, I was beating myself up about it for a long time whilst here, and I kind of really dented this place. But at the same time, I thought, okay, I really need to sort of I can't hold Armenia or Armenian people to just one bad incident. So that sort of catapulted me into really exploring this wonderful city and beautiful country, I must admit. The culture, the theology, the philosophy, the troubles which they've been through, really nice people here, really lovely, quiet and gentle people I have found the Armenians. The countryside is just stunning. The history is just, I was at the genocide memorial today. This country's been through a hell of a lot, and yet they kind of just keep on going. So a lot of respect for the Armenians, I must admit. And I met a couple of friends actually. Yeah, I met a couple of mates. This Aussie guy who runs this wine bar, who's actually really good mates with the football team of FC Noah. So he was telling me, he goes, oh, man, Matt, he goes, these guys are just a bunch of frauds. This is a bunch of lads who've got together, almost like a five-a-side game of, like the FC, like Northfields Legends versus the FE versus like Northfields Youth. They just come together, bunch of lads, and kind of like got this football team. There's no way you're going to get a football top. But yeah, I have got a contact now, so if I ever come back, I'm going to come to this bar because that's where they hang out. So I haven't totally given up hope yet, and maybe I will return. The bar scene here. Let's talk about the good. The bar scene here is bloody good. They got some wicked bars. A lot of them are underground. They're open to 4 or 5 in the morning, relatively pretty cheap. It's all kind of like friendly, everybody sort of knows everyone, but if you're there and they don't know you, they'll come and sort of like, hi, how you doing? Classic old school sort of like travelling sort of bars where, unlike flipping Baku, where I sat down, we're just literally surrounded by bloody halls all the time. This, I could find a really nice bar, sit in the corner, people watch, chat to the bar staff, chat to the person next to me. The bar culture here is really, really, really good. Not so many cats. The only cat you're going to see is this big fat one here. Let's have a look at it. Do you know what? I think that's a statue of Otis. Crikey. My brother's cat Otis. No, Otis is... no, this guy's too slim for Otis. Oh, say hello to Otis for me. Hey, you're the Dreamies guy. You make the Dreamies come through the cats. Yeah, but I think you've had a bit too many Dreamies, mate. You've been on the flipping Dreamy steroids. But they've got these lovely little art cultures, little parks which they have around here. And this is what I quite like. It's very sort of Soviet-esque. You can tell. It reminds me a lot of my time when I was in Russia, 22 years ago now. There you go. That bottom girls. Don't get that in the Baku Irish pubs, I tell you. And so yeah, it's kind of like it's just bar culture. The food is nice, but it's really small. It's really like appetizers, and this place is expensive. Since all the Russians are coming here, all the Russians have piled in. Prices have gone sort of sky high, you know, absolutely sky high since they've sort of come in here. And so I have spent a lot of money on been paying taxi drivers extortionate amounts of money. I did get Noah. I got him some really nice stuff actually. That cost me a fair bomb. I went to a fantastic craft market today. It was with like local artists, and I got some really nice stuff for my niece and for my nephews, and that's really cool. This is probably the easiest road to cross in the whole of bloody Armenia, because this is old school Soviet stuff. Everything starts in the middle, like a dartboard, bullseye, right? And then everything sort of like gradually sort of comes out after that. And the roads here, every single road is like the M25, and it's just so difficult to cross. And there's people you might know, I've got a few issues with roads, you know. Then I got run over as a kid and stuff, and I've been run over a few times. So crossing roads here for me is like absolutely like I can't even walk down the street properly right even falling over, you know. So food's okay, beer's really good, wine's really good, bar life is really good, people are really friendly. It's been a real experience for me. You know, a lot of soul searching, a lot of kind of getting over. You don't get over Morris. Morris was my boy, you know, but having some sort of peace with it gradually, you know. Not many cats here, like I said. Not many street dogs either, to be honest with you. But it's Armenia, and if it wasn't for my nephew Noah and me having a little cheeky bet on a Saturday, seeing FC Noah, I would never have come to this incredible little place, you know. There's so much to see, and I actually wish I was staying a bit longer now I've got over the initial sort of thing. There's so much to see here, there's so much to do. Not so much in Yerevan, but Armenia itself. It's a beautiful country. Anyway, I'm going to have my last night here with in a few bars, meet up with my Aussie mates, and the last word is going to be with you.
Take care, Matt. Enjoy Cyprus.